Welcome to my first vegetable garden. Today I want to explain to you the concept of creating a disease splash barrier in your garden. This is a tomato bed that I planted maybe about a week ago. I put these transplants in. Right over here I mulched the bottom. That is the disease barrier, and I'm going to explain to you why that is. Over here is a tomato plant that was planted into my bed, and you can see that this is just my general soil. There's nothing covering it, and as it's rained, if you look right in there, you can see how the soil has gone and splashed all the way up the stem. This is how disease gets passed on to your plant from the soil. There's a lot of soil-borne diseases, and when it rains, the spores splash up onto the leaves. The soil splashes onto the leaves. It has spores, and they establish on the leaves and then slowly work their way up the plant. Also, when you water from the top down, it hits your soil, it goes on the plant. Here's a good example too. This is the stick I used to label the plant. It was in the earth about that far, and you can see how the soil has splashed all the way up the stick. That's because there is no barrier on the ground. And if I turn these leaves over, you can see all the soil splashed on there. So you're going to create a disease barrier or soil splash barrier, and all you do really is put down the material to cover your soil. You can use newspaper. Some people put newspaper down, maybe put wood chips on top of that. You can put wood chips on top of your soil. That's perfectly fine. People put green grass clippings down. If you do that, you only want to put down an inch or two, because green grass clippings will compost and heat up, and you don't want them to smell bad or damage your plant. About an inch or two will dry out in the sun and turn yellow, so it makes a great barrier. Over here I put down my material that I compost. This isn't quite composted yet, but it's great for a barrier, and you can see how clean this tomato is. Just by having a barrier, no soil splashes up onto it, so it's a whole lot healthier looking, greener, and it will actually grow better. Sometimes when you get too much soil on the underside of the tomato leaves, it can slow growth. This is sort of where the oxygen goes in, or the CO2 goes in, but the whole transpiration process gets affected by soil covering the bottom of your leaves. And again, that's a cleaner plant with a splash barrier down, and that's another plant that doesn't have the barrier, and you can see all the dirt that has collected along the stem. So I'm going to cover this entire bed with about an inch of this leaf material that I have composting up on the top of my yard there. And again, you can use grass clippings, you can put newspaper down, anything to really create a barrier just to prevent the soil from splashing up onto your leaves and possibly spreading disease and spores. Hope you enjoyed the video and this gave you a good idea of what a disease splash barrier can do for your garden. Please check out my blog at www.therustedgarden.blogspot.com and also check out my YouTube videos. Thanks.